morning, everyone. You know, when we were doing the agenda for this event, I had a choice of following James yesterday or casino night today. I think this was the better decision. I have to say, despite everyone having a lot of fun yesterday, you're all looking bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to take on day 3. So I'm thrilled to see you all. I appreciate always my front row friends for folks coming close to the stage. Thank you, thank you. But don't worry, I'm loud. People in the back, you'll be able to hear me. So before I get into my presentation today, we're going to start with just a couple updates because highlights from yesterday and our boot camps, right? We had a lot of fun, right? Let's see, where am I? Okay. So today we have a full house, amazing lineup of speakers. Some folks that I consider friends, colleagues, mentors, inspiration. So hopefully you're all equally as excited to see some of these folks take the stage today. We've got Chris, Miranda, Bob, Nils, Patrick, Beth, Sterling. Then we follow everything with an amazing panel being led by Jay Nathan. We've got Kristi, Eugene, and Corey. So it's going to be a great day with a lot of content. Hopefully you're all ready to take some notes, learn something, but really should be a really packed agenda with a lot of great content. Before we get into anything, though, I want to just stop for a moment and ask that we all reflect on yesterday. Now, how many of you did an activity yesterday that you've never done before? Amazing. Somebody, Jordan, you said you did? Did you raise your hand? What activity did you do? I got a full body massage. Good for you, Jordan. You know what? That would have been my activity of choice as well. Anyone go ziplining for the first time? What'd you think? Bern, how was it?
I killed the bear.
Good for you. Conquered that fear. Amazing. Did you like it?
I loved it.
Would you do it again?
Yes.
See? Who went on a horse for the first time? Yeah, nobody was trying to tackle that for the first time? No. I get it. I wouldn't either. But how was the horseback riding? I heard that you guys went on a trail up a mountain, saw some beautiful sights. Right, Donna? You were telling me all about it. It was good? See? I probably would have done horseback riding. What about our friends who went up mountain biking? Anybody do that for the first? No, you had to be like an expert level, right? To get it, yeah. That probably wouldn't be good for anybody, including Sundance, if we sent some novice up onto a mountain on a bike on the edge of a cliff. Like JD, where's JD from our ClientSuccess team? He did that to me. I came to Utah, native New Yorker, so trips to Utah, they like to put me in really uncomfortable situations, like go try something new, Kristi, we're gonna have fun. Mountain biking was one of those. I hadn't ridden a bike since I was, 13, 14, right before you had a car. And I'm on the edge of a mountain, trying not to cry, sweating, trying to save my life. And he's like, this is fun, right? It's like, you can get off and walk it if you need. I spent the entire time walking my bike up a mountain, trying not to cry. So I get it, I wouldn't have done that. But it was a great day. And how many of you were able to participate in casino night? Do we have any big winners? I saw some really big bets. I stayed at the roulette table the entire time. I'm not going to lie, I did not move. So anybody who saw me had to come and visit me. Sorry. Any craps players? I saw a lot of people. The craps table looked hot. Yeah, how'd you do, Miranda?
A lot of people gave me their chips, but I ended up with 1,520 hours.
All right, so you're up. You're a winner. Very good. Well, listen, I hope that all of you had an amazing time and connected and made some new friends. Now, that is the most important thing about this event, is connecting and building relationships, right? Dave talked about that what we really love to focus on here at ClientSuccess is building relationships that last. So how many of you made a new friend? There better be a hand raised by everyone here. That is what this is all about. Now, I gotta tell you, so I've been in customer success for over a decade, and this is my first time at CS100. And I feel like I've never really I don't get FOMO. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Let them do their thing. I go do my things. Every year that I would see pictures from this event, I would sit there looking at my LinkedIn feed going, boo. Everyone always looked like they were having so much fun. It was so much energy, the learnings, the takeaways, the relationships. Now, I had someone oh my gosh, I forgot who I was talking to about this. Josh, you were telling me, didn't this event feel like you were just coming to hang out with all of your friends? Tell me exactly what you said.
Yeah, it's like walking into a room
That is what makes this event special. That's why this is different. That's why you all come. It's not just about learning, right? You can go on the internet and learn. It's about connecting. It's about hearing stories, sharing stories, being better and growing. And what an environment to go and do that in, right? It's beautiful here. You're getting to spend time with friends, and it's not just in this room. You were out in the mountains. You were in the spa. That's fine too. But you were doing it in an environment that really, really brought it all together for you. So I am so glad that you were all able to participate. Now, yesterday we also had a big announcement, right? For the first time ever, we were able to announce live the top 25 influencers and the top 100 strategists. That was awesome. I don't know if any of you have checked LinkedIn today, but it's like on fire with people celebrating each other and acknowledging their success. And I don't know about you, but it warms my heart to see that because so many of you put so much into this community that recognition, it really matters. It means a lot. It's validating. And so to be able to see and celebrate all of our friends live, as opposed to just clicking on that link as soon as you know it's going to drop and go, scurry, look for your name, hope that you're there. This was amazing. And we're thrilled to have partners like Success Coaching to go and do this with. So thank you all for celebrating all of these community heroes who give so much back. Now, I'm going to get into my presentation for today, which I will say may make some of you uncomfortable. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't try to push the envelope and make us feel a little out of our skin. So if I say something and you feel like it's maybe me talking about you, that's okay. That's all right. So we're going to go and we're going to explore a topic that is near and dear to my heart because I hear from everybody all the time, oh, yeah, one day we're going to get customer success, get a seat at the table. I'm sorry, friends. We've been there. We've had our seat. We're all sitting there. We're all leaders that have access to the room that we all think that we don't. The problem is we're not leveraging it the way that we should. So today we're going to talk about not just getting to that table, but we're going to flip it. So my intention for today's conversation is to make you all think twice about everything you do every day. It's not going to be a lecture, but hopefully it's going to have you reflect and think about how you can be better as leaders every single day. So first, how many of you are leaders that report to the CEO? Raise your hand. See what I mean? How many of you are leaders that report to a leader who reports to the CEO? Right? Okay. How many of you have companies that have a chief customer officer? Or a VP of customer success? How many of you guys are VPs of customer success? Yeah, exactly. See, that's my point. We look around the room and we are filled with leaders that have access, who are being empowered, who have been hired to do this work. And I get it, this work is not easy. I cried more days than I didn't over the past decade. It is hard what we do, but it's not impossible, and we do have access. We do have resources. We do have people that believe in what it is that we're trying to do. We have to get them bought in a little differently. So how we approach this needs to be modified. So I love LinkedIn, if you haven't guessed. And I did a couple searches, because I was just like, let me just see. So this was done probably about a week or so ago. I just said, okay, how many people have the title Chief Customer Officer? It was 138,000. How many people had the title of VP of Customer Success? I did VP of CS, VP of Customer Success, right? 54,000. I did heads of CS, 47,000. These are not small numbers. Now, I'm sure if we did searches for a number of people that were in sales roles or, chief revenue officer, sure, maybe there'd be a couple more. But my point here is that there are plenty of companies that believe in what we do. Now, it's our job to help them understand the value and help them see the impact we can have. Now, Dave talked a lot about impact the other day, right? He talked about the impact each of us could be having on our community, on our teams, on the industry. And that's what it's about. It's about that impact. But what happens is we're having conversations. Now, I will say, one thing I am fortunate enough to do is to be able to speak to so many of the best customer success leaders out there, right? I'm very privileged in the role at ClientSuccess that I have to be able to speak to my colleagues and hear some of the challenges that they're navigating and brainstorm with them. But what I'm hearing from them is defeat, right? They don't feel supported. They feel like the sales team is giving them bad fit customers. They feel like marketing is focused on pipeline generation and not customer success. They feel like the finance team isn't giving them budget, right? HR isn't giving them headcount. And what I'm hearing, right, is a little bit of this victim mindset, right? All of these things that are happening to me, all of these things that I'm not getting. And that's my problem, is that mindset that we sit in, where all these people are doing things to us, where everything is happening to us. Now, listen, of course, I've received a customer who probably shouldn't have been a customer at some point in my career. But instead of me being a victim, I could go to my sales team and help educate them on why that customer wasn't a fit, right? And maybe suggest things that we can do or things we should look at to find better fit customers. This is what I'm talking about, right? Why not go to marketing and propose an initiative that would help your customers get more value, help you scale, help you do more with less? Don't sit there and complain that your marketing team isn't giving you what you need. These are all the things that we need to start reflecting on and start thinking differently about how we interact, how we engage, how we collaborate, because that is the difference on how we show up as leaders. If you're a leader that sits there and feels like you're not getting what you need and you're not doing the right things about it, that's no one's fault but your own. You own that. If you're not getting your head count, it's not because you can't, it's because you won't. It is time that all of us stop and think differently about how we are approaching the roles that we're in, the opportunities that we're given. That's what this is. We each have an opportunity to change the impact and the directions of our business through the work that we do. Now, I put this slide up because this is CS leader. Why does everything get dumped on CS? I've already explained this 1,000 times. How come everyone else gets to hire and not us? Since I can't make up for product with a bad product fit, or NPS is not a great measurement. I get it. I've been there. I've said all of those things. I probably cried about them too to somebody, maybe some of you. It sucks. But it's okay to have a 1 minute pity party. But if you're taking 2 minutes to have that pity party, you're not a great leader. Be sad, reflect on what's happening, and go do something about it. But these are the conversations that I'm having every single day. And that's why I thought it was important enough to have a conversation with all of you about this, because we have to change this narrative. We can no longer be victims of the roles that we're in. We need to step up, step out, and go do what we need to go make our companies successful, to help these other leaders understand the value of customer success. Now, I'll tell you, more often than not, I hear, yes, our company's investing in customer success because our investors told our CEO that they have to, but we don't really have buy-in and we don't really have support. How many of you feel that way? You're a shy bunch, because I guarantee you over a coffee or a cocktail that one of you would tell me that we only have CS investment because of our investors. But that's fine. It's okay. You don't want to shame your companies. Maybe your boss is sitting next to you. I get it. But this is the truth. And what's sad about this is that over the past year, the conversations that I'm having with leaders isn't just about this. They're telling me I don't want to lead anymore. They're telling me I want to step out of this role, maybe go into consulting. I want to go into another company. No, that's not a dig at you, Nils. You're good at what you do. You keep consulting, buddy. It is for folks that don't want to deal with the bureaucracy. They don't want to deal with the politics. They don't want to deal with the hard. Now, if you were in our keynote yesterday, and if you didn't cry, you're weird. Not a dry eye. He talked about doing hard things. And we get to do those hard things. I couldn't have been more touched by that story about the gentleman with the cerebral palsy. Oh my God. And he says, I get to ride my bike. That hit. I felt that. Well, we get to do our jobs. I get to stand here every day. I get the opportunity to go talk to my customers and hear their feedback about what I could do different, what my team can do different, what we as a company can do different. That is a privilege and an honor. That is a right. And if you are not all realizing that in your roles every single day, you're doing it wrong. Maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you should go into consulting. I'm kidding. That was a joke. That was a joke. Andrew, that was a good laugh. I like that. That was a good belly one. But that's my point, right? I don't want to see leaders giving up. Now, I've said this once, but I was like, every time a leader in CS fails, it sets us back as an industry. You want to know why? Because that CEO no longer really believes that we can have the impact that we know we can. Think about that. Every time you fail as a leader in your organization, it sets us back, all of us. We all need to step up differently and show up differently for our teams, for our companies, for our customers. Every single person in here that is working with a customer, they deserve for you to be better. Now, this is terrifying, right? Because we all still are sitting with this mentality. So I'm going to challenge all of you that when you do start to go down this rabbit hole, and it's okay and you will because we're human, but try to recognize that that's what's happening, take a step back, and try to rethink. Rethink what you could do to change that outcome. Now, one thing that's not been easy for me as a leader is recognizing my weaknesses, right, because I'm perfect. Recognizing my weaknesses and really trying to embrace change to do something about it. Now, the coolest thing about being a leader is that I get to hire people to fill those gaps for me. So all the things I'm really bad at, I just go make sure that I hire somebody who's really good at that. Nils actually taught me that in my leadership training. And so that's what I focused on, right? Trying to recognize what are the things that I'm not doing, where can I not show up, what are my deficiencies? And instead of trying to be the best at everything, I'm gonna be really great at the things I'm really great at and find other people and accelerate them being really great at the things they're great at and build an awesome team. So some of the things I started to think about is, okay, if I'm looking in the mirror here and I'm trying to think, what can I do differently? What can I be better? What are the questions I need to ask myself to show up? So have I built credibility within my organization? That's a hard one, right? It's a hard thing to measure too, so you have to have really strong relationships to figure that out. But it's important to me as a leader in my organization is, do my peers, right, do the leaders that I work alongside of, do they see me as a credible person, right? Do they see me as an expert in my industry? Does my experience speak for itself? Do they see that the work that I'm doing, does that show that I am credible? It is hard to believe that someone can be successful if you don't really think that they're good at their job. You've got to focus on being credible, bringing that credibility. Have I mastered the art of persuasion? Am I a good storyteller? People don't want to listen to like facts and data. Data is important. I didn't say that. But you've got to be able to tell a story with that data. And those narratives are what hit. So you've got to think, like, can I persuade somebody through the art of storytelling? Because that is how you're going to get buy-in. That is how you're going to convince somebody else. It is through those stories. So you've got to figure out, is that something I can do effectively? Do I have these anecdotes? Do I have compelling customer stories or examples that I can share, that I can really help harness so people can emotionally connect to what it is that we're saying? Do I frame the issue the best way possible? That's important for us as leaders because we don't want to come off and be like, oh, wow, all these things are broken. Yes, of course, they might be. But what's the impact of that? What's the impact if we don't fix those issues? What is the impact if we do fix those issues? You've got to be able to get people bought into that, but how you frame these things is going to help illustrate you in a different light. It's going to paint you in a different light. And that's important. People need to see that you are solutions-minded, that you can think differently, that you're not coming to people with problems. So can you frame that issue? Can you bring people in to help you solve those? Can I be assertive and command a room? I will tell you that is probably something that I struggled with for a lot of years, which probably some of you who know me now think, Kristi, you couldn't be assertive in a room. I really struggled finding my voice. because it took a lot of experience and confidence building to get me to a place where I knew that I was right and I had the conviction to tell it and be able to command a room so people were bought into what I was saying. That's tough. A lot of us have self-doubt, and so to get to a place where we feel that we can go into a room with other leaders, maybe some who have been doing a lot longer, who maybe have more experience, who have more expertise, and tell them that we have to change. Can you do that in a way that captivates them, that brings them in, that helps them understand your point of view? You've got to be able to be vocal. Now, again, when I talk to all the leaders that I do, I hear a lot of them, well, they're not going to listen to me, or I don't really know how to say that, or I don't feel comfortable going to my CEO with that problem, or I can't go and challenge the board during one of our board meetings about what it is that we're trying to do. You've got to be able to do that. You have to step out of your comfort zone, get to a place where you can command that room. It is critical to your success. If you're sitting in a place where you can't go and have these tough conversations and bring your information and bring your point of view, you're going to continue to struggle. You won't get the support you need. Can I manage emotions? This is tougher. But it's not about, can I go have these tough conversations and not have like a breakdown? It's, can you manage the emotions of everybody in that room, right? You're gonna be telling people things that are gonna make everyone uncomfortable, right? If you're saying, hey, we need to pivot, we need to change, we need to do something different, change is hard. People are emotionally connected to the things that they've built, whether it's the product, whether it's a process, those have ownership. And when those owners are being questioned, right? And the value of the things that they have personally designed, people get emotional. They get defensive, mad, angry, dismissive. Maybe some people get happy, I don't know. But those emotions and your ability to help manage and navigate that is going to make all the difference. You have to be able to stand in a room and read it and see who's mad, who's frustrated, who do I need to break down walls with to bring them in, to get them to hear me differently. That is going to be a game changer for you. You can't assume that everyone hears your message and receives it the same way. You could talk to two people and have 3 different opinions about what you've just said, and that's real. And emotions are human. And you've got to navigate that. But your inability to do that, if you walk into a room, say your things, you're stern, hard, not flexible, and you walk out, most of those people didn't receive your message. Because of all the things I said, right? They might be defensive. They might not be ready to hear. Maybe you didn't deliver it the way they needed to hear it. That takes a lot of time. It does take an investment, and this is why we say collaboration with your peers and other leaders is critical to your success. Because your ability to formulate good, strong relationships is going to empower you to have those tough conversations in a safe place. So you've got to be able to manage those emotions. Do I present solutions that align with the broader business strategy and plans? Now, this is something that, again, I hear from a lot of CS leaders. It's a bigger challenge. We come in with these tactical, I'm going to go build a health score. We're going to go do QBRs. I built 18,000 playbooks. Nobody cares. I care. I love a playbook. But the reality of it is, if you're not talking about your work and how it aligns to your company's strategy and every single person's strategy, you're not going to get buy-in. Yes, Bob! Give me a round of applause. Bob, you should have been a front row friend. But that's my point, right? We've got to look in the mirror. This is all about what can we do differently? How can we show up differently? And we can. These are easy things to fix. These are behavioral changes, things that we can do differently every single day. You don't have to do all of these things different tomorrow. But if each of you are sitting here and thinking, I probably don't do that well, good. Pick that first one that made you uncomfortable and go work on that. And that one change will make you a little bit better. I want to make this point because I think this is critical. Facts don't change minds, stories do. And Nils will probably talk to you later about how important storytelling is, because that's what he does. But this is the reality. You've got to be a strong storyteller. You've got to be able to come up with a narrative. You've got to be able to come up with examples. You've got to get people to connect emotionally to your point, and you do that with great stories. You're not going to do that with 18 data points and little graphs and charts. People don't connect to that. You need that to back up your story. So don't misread me. Data is important. Data is not what you lead with. Get people emotionally uncomfortable with the reality of where you're sitting today and get the data there to support why you need to change or how you need to change or what you need to do differently. Now this, hopefully no one takes offense to this, but this was a quote that I came across that I really liked, because I do think that sometimes as CS leaders, we show up as victims. So the victim mindset dilutes human potential. By not accepting personal responsibility for our circumstances, we greatly reduce our power to change them. Do not be a victim of the situation that you're in. You're not a victim. You are a leader who is capable of change. You need to go embrace that change, harness it, and go be better. Show up better. Now, where do we go from here, right? Because I've got to leave you with something to do, because we say all of our stuff should be actionable and tactical. So I'm going to give you 3 things that you can go do from today. 1, go connect with your customers and go capture their stories. Let's spend less time just focusing on optimizing our processes. Go figure out, are the processes that we have in place the right ones? Go connect your customers, because that's where you will find that answer. Get alignment and buy-in from your executive leadership team. By doing the things I told you earlier, that will help you. Now, I'm not saying that magically overnight, every executive that sits around the table with you is going to be like, yes, customer success. But I guarantee you they will get steps closer over time. You got to keep working it. And the third thing is you need to design a strategy around your company's business goals. Stop being so siloed in your mindset. Do not just think about customer success. It is not just about us. It is about the entire organization and how we operationalize around our customers. And the only way you do that is if you have a unified strategy that supports everything you have to do as a business. All right, so hopefully I made you all a little uncomfortable, but I appreciate your time and attention this morning. We've got a great lineup of content today, and so we're going to get ready to introduce our next speaker. Thank you all so much.